it gets kind of, it's striking when the parents were auditory, what? You know, but it's not painful and the babies are asleep. But they are able to check the brain waves and they're able to detect whether or not the child has a sensory neural hearing loss. So we're able to start much earlier than we used to. When I started in the field back in the 70s, if we had a child that was 3, we felt excited. You know, we're getting them at the beginning, you know. Well, not quite, you know. There's 3 years that elapsed before that 3rd birthday. And so now, my youngest right now that I'm working with is 3 months old. And generally it's 2 to 3 months. It depends, sometimes there's a little lag time, and understandably so, because sometimes when they do the testing, the family's saying, but I know he hears. I know. When I go like this, he jumps. You know, I said, that's vibration. You know, that may not be hearing, but I don't say that to the parent really, because it just, I mean, the parents are going through it. Yeah, she knows what it's like. And there are questions, and so they go back to the doctor and say, you know, could you do this again, please? You know, I'm not sure that that's accurate, and I want to get another opinion, I want to get another test. So it might be a little more delay in the child getting started, but usually it's within the first 6 months. And that has provided just so much advantage for the children, for the families, for the educators, because we're just, and the audiologists as well, we're just able to provide much better service for the children and to really monitor them as they're growing. Look at those other developmental areas as well and see if hearing impairment is the only area that is impacted, or is there some balance issue, or is there vision, or whatever, and we can intercede, you know, and interact with the family about those. So the big change for us was 2006, where the numbers doubled, more than doubled. So now the average is probably 25 children a year that we're seeing, and it used to be 6 to 12. And this year in particular is 22 infants that are in the program. And the children, just by nationality, that's partly why I brought the little ones with me, because 50% are Hispanic. And that's about, I think, the same as the district. Would you say that you're on 40? Yeah, 40, 45. It changes. Every year's a little different. But majority are Spanish speaking. And that is a blessing, too, to have Evelina on. She's contracted, but she's definitely part of our team. And she's assisted the families with home visits, with IFSPs, with the annuals, the reviews. When they go through IEP, she's always there for that. She's there for intake. Yeah, she's part of the team. So she's been a big help to the families that many of whom do have some English, but again, because these are emotional times too, you want to be able to really fully communicate in your native language. So 50% are Hispanic, and I think this is my Caucasian baby. Yeah. I have a brown eye and a blue eye baby now, so thanks to Carolyn funding. But 30% are Caucasian, and 15% are Asian, and 5% are African American.
No disproportionality there?
Nope. And they're all treated as equal, of course. Yeah. But what's been a really gift to me is the different cultures. You know, because right now I have an infant who is, the family's from Vietnam, another family from China, another family from, well, we had Korea before, but let's see, that child's no longer in the infant program, but he was, yeah, he's in the preschool now. But we have all different nationalities. And I've learned so much, you know, because even in the welcome, when a family opens the door, sometimes I take off my shoes. Sometimes the family's fine, you know, that's all right. But I usually take them off just for cleanliness sake for the baby. But just little nuances of concerns. Or I was with a mother today whose family is from China, and she wants to teach her baby and I don't remember the words, sorry, but the Cantonese words for grandmother and grandfather, because they're going to be visiting soon, you know, and she learned the signs already, so she's getting ready to communicate with them and share with them the importance of signing, but she wants me to use the Chinese, you know, words with the child, and I think that's wonderful. So we try to encourage the nationality and the culture of the child and learn as much as we can about the family. And usually I start photo albums with each of the families, so I'm taking pictures of everyone and helping the baby understand what these words mean when we're signing them. So, and I think some of you or many of you are familiar with the IFSP. So it's Infant Family Service Plan as opposed to the individualized educational plan. So in the beginning, the families are part of the team, as always should be, with the IEP as well. But there's a real effort to work with the families individually at this level and to really provide services to them. And so the infants themselves, when parents, and I remember when Lucia and I were talking on the way over, Lucia shared with me that when she heard the word deaf, she just was totally overwhelmed. And she just pictured that he would never be able to speak. He'd never be able to relate to other kids. What was so poignant for me was meeting Frankie's older brother, because the day Lucia and Frankie went to the hospital to get the hearing aid, I drove them over, and the oldest brother was there, and he said to me, you know, are you sure he needs this? You know, and he started saying, he does. When I knock on the door, you know, he's going to and I said, I've heard this from parents. I haven't heard this from an older sibling. And he's, what, 17 now?
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was so worried about his little brother. And will he be, you know, will people look at him funny? Will they talk to him? Will they, you know, ostracize him? You know, he was so concerned. And now he sees them communicating in 3 words. He's only 2.5. In Spanish, at some point where mom's saying, could you slow down? But it's wonderful to be part of that and to share with the brother the importance of education, and now he's seeing it all. But it was very helpful to all the family to have more insights into the different hearing losses. So some children have bilateral hearing loss where there's 2, you know, both sides are affected, and that can be mild through profound, you know, so it can be different levels. And those of you who may know much about autism, you know, with the spectrum, well, there's kind of a spectrum with hearing loss too. So the binaural hearing loss or bilateral with 2 hearing aids, the children that have profound hearing loss, though, are usually have the option of a cochlear implant. And that's only available to those that have profound hearing loss. So it's not available to a child with like a moderate to severe hearing loss, because they really are destroying part of the cochlea. And so they need to go through that and make the connection with the brain. So we have 1 baby in the program right now who has a cochlear implant. And at least 3 at the preschool level, I think, that have cochlear implants now. So that's binaural or bilateral. And then I'm pointing to babies just because I'm doing that. Then there's those babies that have a unilateral hearing loss, just one side is affected. And for the most part, those children go through our program, and age 3, they're doing very well. They're up to speed, normal. They're speaking at the same level as any of their peers. But it does help to have that early intervention to really give them the support, and how the parents too. And some of those children receive hearing aids and some of them don't. It depends on the audiologist, really. And we work in tandem with the audiologist in children's, but we also have audiologists on site. And our newest audiologist, Holly Skinner, is new to our district, but not new to the profession. So she comes in very experienced, and she's been working very closely with the infant program. So, and I'm trying to, so, okay.